Suffolk Artlink, with thanks to National Lottery players. Extra Time, Footballing Stories from Suffolk. A partnership project with Suffolk Archives. Throughout 2023, Suffolk Artlink invited people to record their personal stories about football. Contributors talked about witnessing championship-winning goals, the joys of the supporters' coach, and the loneliness of a groundsman during lockdown. There was even a marriage proposal or two. We would like to thank all our contributors and also John at Chronicle Digital Storytelling for his support, advice and inspiration. The magical FA Cup run of 1978. Mark recounts some memorable moments as Ipswich progressed through the FA Cup rounds and eventually won the Cup in 1978.
My name is Mark Dunster and I'm here with my story of the magical FA Cup run of 1978. From the special train to Cardiff to the Twin Towers of Wembley, we saw the Blues victorious to make that history. Saturday the 7th of January was the day of the third round match at Cardiff City. Mick Mills made a club record number of appearances of 494. As our song says, Guy Darby, Mike Marler and Mark Dunster and others made the over 500-mile round trip on the football special from Ipswich. Ipswich won 2-0 and progressed. Round 4. Provided a home tie with Hartlepool, and this passed without any great alarms. Town winning by 4-1. Round 5. Bristol Rovers away. An early pitch inspection designed to save us band of supporters a wasted trip, and the go-ahead was given for the match. The pitch was covered by snow and underneath was slippery and icy. This game was to prove the closest that Ipswich came to exiting the cup. The home team turned a 1-goal deficit into a 2-1 lead, and when Bobby Gould intercepted an Alan Hunter back pass and found the net, it appeared that the score was now 3-1 to Bristol Rovers. However, fortune favoured Ipswich in that the goal was disallowed for offside and Town went on to equalise in front of the travelling fans with 4 minutes to go. Scenes that followed that goal included a respected unnamed teacher jumping on the back of another fan before shouting, "I love you, copper," to a nearby policeman. That person was my dad. The replay at Portman Road proved straightforward and Town won 3-0. Quarter final. Millwall away. We were on board one of over 50 coaches to travel to the ground at Cold Blow Lane. Both sets of fans were not segregated, and the match was rarely remembered for the violence and intimidation. Our group of a dozen fans or so left the ground for safety reasons at half-time for the coach. Once on board, someone threw a large lump of concrete at the coach, narrowly missing the window and instead hitting the body of the coach. The final score of 6-1 to Ipswich seemed of secondary importance. Semi-final. West Bromwich Albion at the neutral ground of Highbury Arsenal. Memories for me involve the journey to London when I so badly needed the toilet, and in my vanity and wishing to impress the young lady with my running ability, I ran hard for the nearby garage when our coach was apparently in stationary traffic. Thanks to the kindness of our driver and his judgment, I was able just to make it back to return to the coach before the coach exited the roundabout and would have waved goodbye to me. The match itself is famous for the clash of heads between Brian Talbot of Ipswich and John Weil when the aforementioned scored for the Town. Talbot withdrew from the match and Weil continued with a bandage around his head. An enduring image of John Walk hovering and scoring a header to restore the town's lead of 2 goals to make it 3-1 in front of the clock end at Highbury was one that I still remember to this day. The final versus Arsenal, memories of such a wonderful final are fondly remembered. For me, this was the best performance by an Ipswich side in my lifetime. The team tore Arsenal apart and on a luckier day would have won 3 or 4 or even 5-0, hitting the woodwork 3 times and having numerous other chances. We made it back to Ipswich to watch the highlights on Match of the Day that evening.